Truthfully, I'm not really sure where to start with this video, so I'm just going to dive in. But this is going to be largely about anxiety after the military, or even during the military. It's something that I am currently going through. I don't want to use the word suffering because I think it's not necessarily something that I am experiencing that's outside of my control. So I want to talk about it as if something that I am battling and something I'm going to get through. Also, this is the first day of a 30-day video blog challenge I'm doing for myself. Truthfully, I've never done anything like this, so I'm just getting swarmed with doubts and like these thoughts that I'm not going to be able to knock it out or actually do it. But I know that others have done it, so why not me? Even though I have some crazy things coming up over the next 30 days that are going to take most of my day when they happen, and I'll get into that in this blog. My life's pretty crazy, but I still want to challenge myself and do it because others have crazy lives too. I'm not the only one, right? So let me kick this off, and here we go. So I struggle with, I guess, and I'm battling against anxiety. I think a lot of members of the military deal with this, and I think that the military doesn't always have the right approach on handling anxiety. It's a lot of times, hey, let's work on the symptoms instead of the root cause. We actually have an amazing podcast episode about this, but I decided that I wanted to kind of be more open about it than before because it used to be something that I was almost embarrassed about. It was difficult for me to talk about. And now I'm trying to be more open. Hence, the first day of this 30-day challenge is going to be about anxiety. My wife also struggles with anxiety. For her, it's health anxiety. For me, it's more like accomplishment, financial, what does the future hold type of anxiety, because I can't help but think 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 years down the road. And I also take a lot of sometimes unnecessary responsibility on my own shoulders. And so that kind of compounds because I think so far into the future, a lot of that weight kind of settles down on me, I think, mentally. I think it's also a superpower of mine that I think so far into the future and want to take on so much because it gives me the ability to have a vision of amazing success down the road. It provided me the ability to, for example, start ADPI as just a little side hustle to teach others how I got into real estate investing while active duty in the military and transform that into what it is today, where we have close to 70,000 members and we are growing an amazing online education community. And it's just, it's turned into probably the best place to get financial and investment advice for military members outside of like the normal, like, hey, just put your money away in a TSP. And so right now, anxiety is something that is honestly a daily struggle. I find myself not being able to sleep well. Sometimes I have to wake up at 4 a.m. and just pace around a little bit because of some email I wrote improperly or a worry that something's going to fall through. In fact, one of the biggest contributing factors recently, what's the right word? As strange as it might sound, that real estate for my life has been the savior for my life. It's really allowed me to have completely different financial opportunity than most people I know. And it has also allowed me to bring my refugee family from Ukraine, my wife's family, to live with us. Like, we've been able to do a lot of cool stuff because of real estate investing and entrepreneurship, but it's also been a contributing factor to my anxiety, just being very open about that. For example, there's a deal I'm in now that is probably going to cost me $1.2 million of unanticipated investment capital that is largely coming from myself and from my family, from my parents. That is really a stressor because it's not something I feel like I have full control over. And that's probably what makes it even worse is like I feel like I need control in order to feel calm. And this I do not have control over. And I need to take a bit of my own medicine because my wife struggles with health anxiety. And so my counter to her worries is always, hey, you can't control health that much. Let's focus on, living a good life. But when I started struggling with thinking the same way when it comes to finances, when it comes to our future, taking responsibility for the family, I realized that we're very similar in that regard. Like, I can't control that either, then why am I letting it bother me so much? So, actually, in a very weird way, I think it brought me and my wife Katya closer together because we relate to each other's struggles on that level. But we're both helping each other out now, and it's caused us to be able to support each other on a whole new level. So, do I have a solution for anxiety? I think surrounding yourself by good, positive people is a huge contributor. My family and also ADPI, the team, are amazing, and they understand a lot more than probably most people in what I'm going through, even if it's not a direct conversation. Just having that onesie twosie words here of support here and there, is huge. And also having just this, like, it's almost like people have my back without me even having to question whether they're going to be there. It's like a bedrock of support. It's truly amazing. And so what I would suggest for anybody in the military that's dealing with or battling, that's battling anxiety and maybe even depression, to find a support group. And I know that sounds cliche, but also to find an identity outside of the military. Real estate investing has been huge for me. Having an entire support structure, an entire community around real estate investing has been hugely helpful for me personally. And I'm a people person, so my team is a huge source of energy for me. And also I suggest so this is what's helped me a lot, and I start exercising this a lot, is thinking of, well, what's the worst case scenario? And it's tricky because there's a fine line. Sometimes if you dwell on what the worst case scenario could be, that actually increases your anxiety. But what I do is I take it a step further, and I force myself to realize, hey, even the worst case scenario isn't that bad, right? Even if, for example, this real estate deal keeps going south, I have other alternative ways of saving the deal. And even if I have to, sell some properties and then ultimately liquidate this deal and take a loss, it's still not the end. I'm still fine. It's a lesson I will have learned, and I'll be better for it. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'll let you guys know how I'm doing as I progress with this. I'll give you some insight into some other stressors that are causing some of this anxiety, but I just wanted to start off this daily vlog that I'm going to do for 30 days. And let me know what you think. Post some comments below. Let me know if you have questions. This is Mark Yancich with Active Duty Passive Income, or ADPI. And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.